Hello and welcome to another episode of TMDWP. It seems that I have to do one of these every time I'm about to go on Radio Freaks Caro so that we have something to talk about. Yes, I'll be on this weekend looking at Cold War.
What are you, Malaya Moya?
Okay, so let's kick off with Spearhead from Space, which has just come out on Blu-ray, which is the 4.5 time that I've bought it. My brother and I co-owned a copy of the VHS, the episodic version. I then picked up my own copy, which was the omnibus version. And then we had the DVD, the special edition DVD, and now the Blu-ray, which, if you're wondering, looks fantastic. Here's a comparison with Sam Seeley skulking through the woods. Also available on the disc is 22 minutes of raw black and white footage that was used in the makeup of the Jon Pertwee title sequence, which means you can now make your own if you want to. Anyway, some of you may know that I interviewed Bernard Lodge for my dissertation about 9 years ago now. That footage was only really intended for me to transcribe and use in the written form, but Bernard did give me permission a few years ago to use it in the podcast if I wanted to. So here's a couple of minutes of him talking about making the Pertwee title sequence.
On Doctor Who 3, which was the first colour one, we thought, well, if that effect looked good in black and white, that HAL run, it's going to look sensational in colour with this new high definition technology.
Yeah.
But in fact, it didn't work at all.
Right.
And with it, a lot of the quality and the effect on the first sequences came out of the fact we're using a very crude camera.
Right.
It's called the Image Orthicon. And this Image Orthicon produced this effect. The new high resolution colour camera didn't do it at all. Right. So we went and did some more black and white, this time with the photograph of Jon Pertwee. And this time I think I got the effect better because I hit him with two backlights, so we got these highlights on the side of his head. So we got these the highlights generated the stuff, in other words. And then we took the footage away, and I went to an outside rostrum company who were cheap, you know. And we did a thing called buyback, whereby the original, a film positive, is laced up with a negative, and then so you're actually shooting as you would on a rostrum camera, but there's a piece of, I'm not sure what it had been, being a negative image, that's right, laced up with a new negative, and shooting some colour strips, diffused through tracing paper, you know, and that put the colour into it very crudely. I mean, everything was so lashed up, you know, in those days.
The next thing to talk about is the short film Cleaning Up by the Guerrier Brothers, written by Simon, directed by Thomas, and produced by Big Finish. It's been doing the rounds of the festival circuit for quite a while now, and they're finally releasing it to the public via the Big Finish website. You can either buy the rookie version for $1.99, which is just the film, or the Hitman version for $4.99, which comes with a load of extras. They're using this to fund development of a feature film version of it. This would be Big Finish's first feature film. It's quite an exciting sounding project. Anyway, I've downloaded the film, I've watched it, it's really, really good. It's got Mark Gatiss, it's got Nick Briggs very briefly, and it's got Louise Jameson. Well worth a punt at £2 or £5. Here's the trailer.
You're making me blush.
And talking of short films, this is one of the locations from a short film that I made a couple of years ago, which I'm now finally releasing into the public domain. It's on Vimeo, so there's a link in the show notes for you to have a look at that. This was the location of the climactic chase sequence. That doesn't really give you a flavour of the whole film. It's more about time travel and rejection. I'm really pleased with it. It is a student film, there are issues with it. Big thank you to Simon Guerrier, who had a look at the script after my first draft, and it was radically reworked after that. But yes, it's out there now for you to enjoy. Catch me this weekend, Radio Free Skaro, talking about Cold War, and I will see you again soon, hopefully. Sooner than last time.